AFTV, Luton 3, Arsenal 4. Dan, it wasn't pretty, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, we did, man. Do you know, it's mad because it's AFTV, but I'm actually going to start with Luton. Big
Okay.
'em up, man. Big 'em up.
100%.
I felt, do you know, it's mad because you go crazy at the end about what happened, and then you realise for a second you're actually feeling sorry for a team. And I felt that, man. And I'm like, why do I care about them so much?
Yeah.
I actually thought their performance was sick. I didn't look at our performance and think we 100% deserve 3 points here. Look how much all over us we are. Look how much of a shambles they've been. We're peppering their goal. No, man, they should walk away feeling extremely proud. And do you know what, Frank, right? I'll say this about Luton. They're probably one of the teams that have been given no credit this season so far for a team that really deserve it. You know, the games they've won, they deserve to win. Some of the games they've lost, they've not deserved to lose. And some of the games like tonight, they'll look at themselves and think, what more could we have done there?
Yeah.
They fought, they played as a team, they were well drilled. Rob Edwards apparently has come out in a post-match and been class. Fair play to Luton, man. I can't big them up more than that. You know, it's probably the biggest compliment I can give them. I've been so impressed by them. Out of the 3 clubs, they're the ones that I will say can have a debate about at least trying to stay up. Because I think Burnley and Sheffield United look like they're going down. Yeah. So fair play to Luton tonight. I thought they were outstanding. Listen, I'm going to go talk negatively about Arsenal first, and then trust me, we'll come on to the positives for those that get frustrated with being negative all the time. David Raya needs to be dropped after that performance.
I think it's time.
That is the reason we're all anxious tonight, because there is no excuses for poor goalkeeping like that. You can sometimes say there's a deflection. You can sometimes say, oh, fair play, but maybe his defence didn't help him out. That is individual errors there that have been completely, in my opinion, unforgivable, droppable now. Ben White, did he do him any favours? No. Defensively, did we do him any favours at the time? Probably not. But then you look at the goalkeeper and say, your defence has let you down. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to crumble. Yeah. I'm going to come out and I'm going to do nothing for the corner. Yeah. And then I'm going to... if you stand still, Frank, you're a goalkeeper. You stand still, he saves that, right?
Of course.
He's diving like... I don't know what this guy's doing. I've seen enough now, man. I've seen enough with it. I see it with Chelsea, he gets lobbed. I see him giving the ball away at City, giving the ball away at Spurs, looking nervous all the time. Lons, he kicks the ball out, they score. I've counted up 5, 6, 7 maybe, and I don't know that Ramsdale's made 7 mistakes in the 2 years he's been at Arsenal.
And this is what I'm saying. I want to know what your thoughts are on the whole situation. Obviously, not just today, but overall. You know, he since he's come in, he said he thinks he's got 2 number ones, but everything he's done since then has said otherwise. So what was your thoughts on the whole situation? Is it fair on Ramsdale? What do you think?
I was for it, and I'll tell you why I was for it, because I believe we should always strive to be better. And if he believed that David Raya was a better goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale, you go by David Raya, you put David Raya in, and you tell Aaron Ramsdale you're no longer my number 1, you will get the game time, but you're going to have to fight to get your jersey back, because I think this guy's better than you. I've got nothing wrong with doing that. The way that he did that was wrong. He hasn't done that. He's come out in interviews and said, I've got 2 number 1s. I'm going to try and rotate people. Don't know who's going to play. Ramsdale comes in. Oh, okay, he's going to stick with Ramsdale. Boom. All of a sudden in the Everton game, he comes in. Then he starts making errors. You think, well, Champions League game, Ramsdale will play because he's got us there. Yeah. No, he doesn't get in either. So now it's starting to get confusing. Then in the interviews again, you're saying, so you've got your number 1 now? No, you have. You've picked your number 1. Just stick with it. You've made the decision. You've been ruthless. Back it up. Tell people what's going on. So there's a lot of rumours you hear about the training. There's a lot of rumours you hear about people being unhappy and that unsettling stuff. I don't know how true that is, Frank. I ain't got a clue. I've got no inside man who tells me that's true. But it's looking rather silly when he makes mistakes like that. I would be understood if it was a huge upgrade on Ramsdale. Yeah. I'd be like, do you know what? I like Ramsdale, but you ain't getting back in, bro, because look how good this keeper is. This isn't Alisson we're talking about, yeah? We're talking about 2 goalkeepers that at the moment look fairly level, and one that's made a hell of a lot more mistakes already in 14 games or 15 games than this guy has in the last 2 years in an Arsenal shirt. So I know what happens next, but if he doesn't get dropped, I'm starting to think this is a little bit like picking on a player now, because this guy hasn't actually done anything wrong. Yeah. This guy's done a lot wrong at the moment, and he's still not getting dropped. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe Ramsdale comes back in, and he's nervy again. He's created this monster of Mikel Arteta. Yeah. He's going to have to try and deal with him, my bro, because this is not going to be easy or get any easier. And when we finally settle a debate, okay, let's not move it on now, makes another mistake, boom. But he has got to thank Declan Rice, because he has made it easier for Mikel Arteta now, because he'll be breathing. Raya will be breathing, which is why I come up running up to him in the end.
I think he owes him a fair bit of his salary, to be fair.
Well, I mean, listen, Arteta will be relieved as well. Not because we've won, he'll be like, that goalkeeping situation's just been made a little bit easier for me. Not by much, but they've won the game. So everyone's now thinking we've won a game, move on. But actually, no, there's a lot of problems in there tonight. And defensively, there's still problems. Individual errors, there's still problems. Not just Raya. Ben White tonight. We've seen Zinchenko give the ball away against Wolves. We see Zinchenko give the corner away for the goal against Fulham. We saw the lob against Chelsea. All the games we've dropped, points we've dropped. Maybe other than Newcastle was kind of VAR let us down in that, some would say that night. But the games that we've dropped points, individual errors from Arsenal, you don't win league titles like that. We've got to iron them out if we want to win this league. So that's the way I see it from the negatives. Positives, my boy, Declan Rice, £105 million. The pressure on the boy's shoulders, the fact he's come in and not just done on the pitch what's needed to deliver, off the pitch, unbelievable mentality. Yeah. That is what is needed in terms of leadership, physical attributes in midfield, presence, driving forward, the tackling, the interceptions. Man of the match for me today because of everything of that performance you need to see to win you 3 points is what that guy's made of. He epitomises everything we've been lacking probably in the last decade to 15 years at Arsenal. Yeah. Because for me, he should be wearing the armband. You're not going to strip Odegaard of it. And I'm not saying we should, but that is a proper captain to me. Absolutely. That is what should be happening. That's why I liked the professionalism and the attributes of Kieran Tierney. That is what Declan Rice is showing, and more. The guy is immense, Frank, and I think we have a lot to thank him for today. But actually, when you look at the away performances, that is why we've won so many of them, and we've been convincing towards the end of games because of that guy. You always think, he's going to step up. And he does. He's done it.
He never gives up.
Never gives up. And it's unbelievable mentality for a player that hasn't played much Champions League football, that hasn't really gone into any form of title race, that's won a trophy in the European Conference League in the last season against West Ham, and now has a little bit of that winning mentality and might think to himself, do you know what? I can actually drive this team forward. Because there's a hell of a lot of pressure on his shoulders at 24 years old. I've seen it in England shirt. I saw it in a West Ham shirt. I didn't want to start screaming about it in a West Ham shirt because West Ham fans get cocky, right? But when you look at it, this guy has been an unbelievable signing. And how important will it be when you look back at that? The other players I think deserve a mention. Kai Havertz tonight.
Another goal today.
Another goal. And do you know what? In the second half, he really turned up.
Yeah.
And I could see tactically what Arteta was trying to do today with Kai Havertz and Jesus. I thought playing off of each other is where we need to go with him. I don't want him playing in this kind of a box-to-box 8. He's not a midfielder for me. Everything that he does that looks to be a good attribute of his needs to be happening towards that end of the pitch, not going backwards. So fair play to him tonight. He got his goal. He made a nuisance of himself. I liked some of his flick-ons. I liked some of the stuff he was doing. He deserves a lot of praise. Gabriel Jesus and Saka are the other two, man, because they did not give up either. I think I look at what Jesus was doing in the first half, pretty much delivered either an assist and goal. He made a massive nuisance of himself. And Bukayo Saka's strength at a young age is unbelievable. Against the team that are kicking him up the air, by the way. Yeah. So for me, those three deserve an amazing amount of credit. In the last 10 minutes, I thought Odegaard showed leadership with just trying to get on the ball and make something happen. So a lot of positives towards the end of that game from us going forward. But we need to look at ourselves in the negatives as well, man, because if we iron them out, we've got a great chance of doing well this year, but we have not got a chance of winning a trophy if you're going to start conceding goals like that, because that is poor, bruv. So we move on to Villa next, which is going to be tough, Villa, man. Really tough. So we see what happens at Villa Park, and we go again. But mate, I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be like that, man. I know it's great winning, getting last-minute goals. I understand that, but when you get to a stage where your heart has to go through that, I don't want it to do that much more, man. I'll tell you that now.
Cheers, bro.